of course, feel very emotionally connected with Turkey. It's your family's homeland. In fact, I believe your father's family are still there and were affected by the earthquake themselves.
Yes, it's very traumatising, being a Turkish citizen myself and, you know, feeling connected to everyone out there. I felt like, you know, they always live their life with fear and what's going to happen next. Are we going to be here? Are we going to be dead? That is basically what is their... That's what their worry is every day. And my dad's side...
Because of the risk of earthquake?
Yes. And basically, my dad's side of the family, they've been, you know, sleeping outside every day. They're too scared to go back inside. My auntie's got now, like, more, like, mental problems because of trauma, and it's just always fear. And I feel like in the UK, we don't realise how lucky we are. When I went to Hatay and Gaziantep, I saw all the buildings. There was people in the rubble looking for memories of, you know, their lost ones, and just so many people just needed help and love, and all they care about is basically finding their families or things from their home that they left. It was very traumatising for me to kind of experience.
You were travelling with the British Red Cross. It's one thing to kind of say, I'm going to sign up and support a charity. It's another thing to actually get your hands dirty, go on a trip, really get involved. What do you think you learned from actually being there and seeing what was really happening?
A lot of things. I learnt that life is... You can't buy life. Life is very precious. And I feel like when I went to see the earthquake and all the buildings destroyed, I felt like people live every day not knowing what's going to happen. We take things... We complain we're tired. We complain it's raining. We're always complaining and complaining, but everything is under... We have a roof over our heads. We have food. We have, you know, our family and friends, but they don't have that. And I feel like I saw the children in the orphanage home and they just desperately needed a mum or a dad. And I remember there was this little girl, she was cuddling me, and Davide was there too, and they literally was calling us mum and dad, like, take us home with us. Please, like, we need you. And they just seemed so happy to have visitors there. And I just got emotional as I was leaving as well. Like, I just couldn't stop crying. And I went through this, like, I locked myself in through shock. It was devastating. And the fact that, obviously, I speak Turkish, they were like, oh, where are you from in Turkey? We had, like, a conversation with some ladies, and some of them, they're really happy because they made friends there. But some of the tents were quite... sad, because some people say they don't have enough food, they don't have enough clothes, and luckily, you know, the British Red Cross are really good. They're always helping. We have the Kızılay, which is also another company that has, like, tents and aids and, like, basically care for babies and food.
I would think that for lots of our viewers, we all saw the terrible pictures and you know, when the earthquake in the early days, but it's not been on our screens. So lots of us will think, it's all been sorted out now. It's all been fixed. And you going out there reminds us there's a huge amount still to do.
Agree. And I went there thinking things will be fixed, right? And 3-4 months has gone on and things are still very raw. The buildings are all gone. Every building is damaged. And, you know, they say it's going to take maybe 10, 20 years for all of the buildings to be fixed. It's just really sad, you know.
Do you know what the story was behind the little girl who asked you to take her home with Davide?
So she doesn't remember much of the actual event. It was 4 a.m. and all of a sudden it was black. Everything was shaking, the walls were coming down, and she was just screaming, "Mum, Mum, Mum." And she doesn't remember anything else. And I think she has a little brother as well. And that's all it is. And she just wants mum, 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 mum. Anyone who comes in who gives her love, she just attaches to herself and she cannot let go.
How old was she?
I think she was about 4. Very, very young.
And she's lost both her parents?
I think her father's alive. The mum is not alive.
Wants her mum. And, I mean, in that situation where a little girl's saying to you, "Mum, please be my mum," what are you thinking then?
I would love to take her. I mean,
are you tempted to adopt a child from...
I would love to.
From Turkey, from this disaster? I mean, it feels like a natural human instinct, doesn't it? To protect a child who's left without their mother.
I just feel like one's not enough. Like, I feel like they all need help, and I wish we could I wish more people could see this experience. It was very moving for me.
But that's what you've done by going there.
Yes. And I would have gone earlier, but, you know, it was very risky at the time. The flights were cancelled and it wasn't safe for us to travel. So I kind of waited now. They still need help, you know.
Well, I think you've been a very articulate voice on their behalf by making that visit and explaining the desperate circumstances, particularly that those children are in.
Yeah.
And, of course, I'm sure that the Red Cross would say, you know, what they need is help.
Of course.
They need help on the ground, don't they?
Yes.
It's good to see you, Ekin-Su, and thank you so much for coming in.
Both of you. Thank you for having me.
Got to say, loved you on Love Island. You absolutely brilliant. Totally
Thank you. It's been almost a year now.
Incredible. That's whizzed past, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We are getting towards the summer. Another summer of Love Island will be coming soon.
You can't wait, can you?
I can't wait.